Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my studio. This is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining me. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel and check out the other videos. Alright guys, so this is going to be how to draw with a 1-inch grid. You could use this for any image that you want. So first we're going to start off with the supplies, and that's going to be your surface, your image, a ruler, and a pen or pencil. So this is my surface. I'm using an 8x8 panel, and I'm putting a 1-inch grid on this. So literally just going, top, bottom, and middle. Going to place a little dot at the 1-inch mark, and then we'll draw lines, and then we'll rotate the panel 90 degrees and do it again to make our grid. You can do this with a 1/2-inch grid, 2-inch grid, 1.5 inch, whatever you want for your grid. Just do the same thing on your surface and your image. Now, if you want to enlarge something, you could put a 1-inch grid on your image and then possibly even do a 2-inch grid on your canvas if you need to enlarge something. But feel free to research a little bit more and experiment. This is a very common method, and it's a great way to create something photorealistic. So if you see any of the hyper-realistic paintings out there or drawings, 9 times out of 10, this generally is the method that they might be utilizing. All right, so as you move over to your image in your photo, like I said, you want to do the exact same thing to your photo. It is nice if you can print it out to the exact size of your surface that you're going to be painting on, especially if you're kind of new to this process. But like I said earlier, if you need to, you could put a 1-inch grid on your image and a 2-inch grid on your surface. So again, here just doing the same thing, 1-inch little marks, making my lines, and then we'll rotate this image 90 degrees and do the same thing in the other direction. Now, if you happen to mess up while you're doing this, don't beat yourself up. Just kind of erase your line and reapply it. And the more that you do this, the more you'll kind of get into a groove with utilizing the ruler and your own process. Okay, so for drawing the grid method, we're going to take it just kind of simple. We're going to start with just looking at the lines. You'll need both of your prepped surfaces in your photo and a pencil and an eraser. Now we're basically going to focus on the lotus here, but whatever your image happens to be, you can focus on that. And like I said, we're going to take it square by square. So as you kind of figure out where your first square is, and mine happens to be in the middle for the left-hand side of that petal, I'm going to look at each square and see where the line of the petal intersects the grid, and maybe the angle that that's at, a bit where it kind of curves. And again, you're just training your eye to be observant. Look again at the angle that the line is going to be and where it intersects on the grid line. And as you get more and more comfortable with this process, you'll actually could possibly get to the point where maybe you're doing 2 or 3 squares at the same time. But when you're first starting out and kind of training your brain to look in this new direction, just take it 1 square at a time. Now, it is perfectly okay to erase and redraw your line if need be. So with that being the case, I'm going to encourage that you use light pressure with your pencil, and it is better to use a pencil rather than a pen, so that way you can erase as needed. Like I said earlier, you are strengthening your power of observation as you do this, and this is a core foundational art skill. The more observant that you are, especially in the world of art, but definitely in life, just the more you're going to get out of life, and the more you're going to observe your own kind of painting process and observe more about the things that you are looking at. Now, I do have a second video on how to paint this, so you can find that at my Paint with Lovejoy website, and we'll go step by step through a value scale using shades of gray with black and white paint. So check that out if you want to learn a bit more about grid painting. But like I've said earlier, grid drawing is perfect for photorealism and being able to copy and transfer an exact picture or image that you might want. And this can apply to anything. You can use this and do watercolors next. You could go right into drawing or painting. You could use this for digital paintings or digital media. kind of anything that you might see where it would be beneficial for the project that you might have on your plate. So again, I like to teach the really simple concepts, and grid drawing, grid painting, the grid method is another one of those simple yet very, very effective methods in art. You can do so many things with this simple process. And like I encourage all of my students, please try to find creative outlets on a regular basis for yourself. Your soul needs it, your lifestyle needs it, and just kind of for mental health and everything, it's good to have creative outlets. And it's nice to kind of switch sides of your brain, especially if you have a very analytical job. So please find your creative outlets and find a way to do them on a regular basis. I generally recommend my students to try to paint at least once a month, if not once a week. So whatever you may be getting into, please do that on a regular basis. So as you get most of your image on there, it is okay to kind of go back and double check and make sure everything lines up. And if you need to erase and reapply and adjust now that all that image is on there, it's great reference just to look at the grid and double check your lines. So I'm really grateful that you guys are interested in grid drawing. Give it a try. Send me photos of what you guys do and move on to the next step for painting or adding color to this. So if you want to check out the painting version of this, like I said, it's going to be on my Paint with Lovejoy website, and it's going to be for learning your black and white, your grid grayscale, as well as learning about grid painting. So hope you have a great day, and thanks for getting creative. Cheers.